What's up, YouTube? It's your boy TC, aka Travel Champ, coming at you with a video today. This is my first video of the Mut season. Madden 23 is coming out real soon, and they've been dropping these cards, on Twitter just to give us a little tease to see what they look like. I wanted to talk a little bit about these cards they got right here. This is the top 10 list, the running backs. Derrick Henry's #1, obviously, but in my opinion, I would think Jonathan Taylor would probably be the best card to pick up from this list. Me personally, I ordered the early edition of Madden. So I plan on picking up Barry Sanders. So out of these top 10 cards, I'm not really concerned about any of these running backs. I'm looking forward to the promo that they're going to come out with, because usually they have a good running back or two in the promo. So my first pick is going to end up being Barry. But if I did, like say, for example, I opened up some packs and I got a couple of these cards, I would say, there's one or two that I would like to have as a backup maybe. And one would be Alvin Kamara. I always like having receiving back archetypes, especially early in the season. I think they have some of the best abilities as far as better route running and catching and things of that nature. So Alvin Kamara to me is a balanced card, 83 speed. He's basically 83 all the way around. I think the threshold early in the year is going to be like 85 and up. But, you can always power him up, I guess, So this Alvin Kamara, in the beginning of the year, he would probably be a good budget card to have, especially as a backup, The other card I was thinking that might be decent would be the Joe Mixon, right? Because he's big, he's strong, he's pretty balanced all the way around. He's just a good card to have overall, in my opinion. And just a quick story about Joe Mixon. A couple of years ago, I was playing Madden online, and I ran into him, and I had a game with him, and it was a good game, man. And I really appreciate just the overall experience in playing against him. He was a good player. I think, yeah, he ended up beating me that game. And I remember I sent him a message and I told him GG's, and he was cool, man. Like we had a little, exchange, and we went on about our way. But he was just a real cool cat, man. And I remember later on in the summer, after I think Joe Cat won a championship that year, Joe Mixon was actually in his stream on Twitch. And I remember there was like a couple hundred of us in the stream, and he gifted all of us with a free sub to Joe's channel on Twitch, and I thought that was kind of cool. So big ups to Joe Mixon, man. He's definitely one of my favorite players, because of that. So anyways, moving on from the running backs, let's take a look at these DBs they got coming out. Here we go. There's the top 10 corners. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey's #1. He's always a fan favorite. He's always one of the biggest, strongest corners to have. He usually is not very fast, but he makes up for it in his press and his coverage overall. Looks like J.C. Jackson is another one that's pretty good this year. But to me, I always like certain cards, like, for example, A.J. Terrell Jr. I think he's a good card to have, especially as a budget beast early in the year. I think he'll be a good pickup to have. So if you end up picking that card up out of a pack or something, I would suggest you take it and put it on your squad. He's usually pretty decent coverage. As you can see, he only has 81 jump, but he'll make up for it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? He's tall, he's fast, so, in my opinion, he's a good card to have. Another one in this list that I would suggest keeping, if you end up getting a chance to pick him up, would be, let's see here, Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward, I don't know what it is about this card. He's one of the shorter corners. He's 5'10", but he's always a speedster. He always makes plays. And early in the year, that's really all you can ask for from your corners, is just to react to the ball and make plays. And he's a man-to-man archetype, and I feel like man-to-man defense is going to end up being one of the best routes to go early in the game. So another one is Denzel Ward, man. He shouldn't be too expensive, but, seeing that, he has a name, he might be one in a mid-range somewhere. So just keep that in mind, man. Denzel Ward, A.J. Terrell, those are two cards to look out for as far as, like, having budget beasts, if you can't afford to pick up a Jalen Ramsey. All right, so let's move on. Let's check out these safeties real quick. All right, so here we got the top 10 safeties. Kevin Byard. I've never really liked Kevin Byard's cards. He's 88 to start off the season, but I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't buy too much into that. I think it's just the fact that he's on the Titans, and the Titans are a good theme team to have. But early in the year, man, let's be honest, building a theme team is just not realistic. You're not going to be able to fill out an entire theme team in the first couple of days of the game dropping. So I wouldn't really waste my time on that. Another one is Adrian Phillips. He's usually pretty good in coverage, pretty fast, but overall in Mut, man, Derwin James is that dude, man. He's always one of the best cards to have in Mut, and it looks like this year it will continue to be the same. He's an 85, 86 acceleration is good. That means he can make a break on the ball. He always has good, decent hit power, and he's just tall, man. He's a good user to have, so I would always pick up a Derwin James if I have a chance to get it. And this year I probably will. And another one I think that people sleep on is Justin Simmons. This dude is tall. He's usually pretty quick. He's not known for being a hitter or like someone that causes fumbles or anything like that. But overall in Mud, he's usually a decent card, man. He usually has very good like agility and change of direction. So that's one of the reasons why I like picking him up. And I mean, he's a free safety. All you're gonna do is just have him play that deep zone anyway. So it's not like he's gonna be up on the line or anything like that. So you don't really need him to have hit power. But as far as like playing zone and playing playing the home runs, man, them deep balls, he's a great card to have. He's tall. Like I said, he has great agility usually, and I usually have success with him on my teams. The last 2 seasons, I picked up his cards, and I've always liked them. So that's one of those cards that I think would probably be a budget beast. If you get a chance to pick him up, you probably want to check him out and see if you like him, see how he feels. And just real quick, man, I think a lot of times we get so stuck on the sexy cards, using the quarterbacks and the running backs, and we just talk about the safeties and stuff like that. We forget about how important it is to build an offensive line. And that's one of the things that I'm going to focus on early in the season when the game drops. Of course, I'm going to pick up, my running back and my quarterback and my receiver. But to build a good offense, you have to have a good offensive line. And don't sleep on those cards, man. And I think when the promos come out, like headliners, stuff like that, or they usually have one called a kickoff. It's something that has something to do with the beginning of the season. It's usually like a kickoff promo or something like that. They usually have offensive linemen in those promos. So that's one of the things I'm going to be focused on early, is building a good foundation and building outward, from that, and having a good core, like a good center and a good right tackle and a good left tackle. That way you can have time in the pocket for your quarterback, no matter who you're running with. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to, basically just touch base, introduce myself. This is my first video. I'm new to Mud for the most part. I've only been playing for like a couple of years. But I've been playing Madden since back in the 90s, man. So I'm not new to Madden. I'm new to Mut. I've been playing Mut since, I think, Madden, I want to say Madden 20 or Madden 19. So like, this is my first time as far as like being a YouTuber and making content and stuff like that. And I'm glad that they dropped these cards to Wet Our Whistle to let us get a little feel for what kind of cards are going to be out, so we could have a little strategy. Like, I know what I want. I'm going to get that Barry Sanders first off, because I know I got to have a running back. And we'll see on Thursday when they have that special stream what kind of quarterbacks they're going to drop, so we can go from there. So anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be coming out with videos daily on how to make coins. Also strategies and tips on how to have a better game plan and stuff like that. Basically win more games. So I'll see you guys out on the gridiron. All right, peace.